Chris Kavanagh gave a red card to Leif Davis for this foul on Bukayo Saka. I mean, he had a little time to think, blew his whistle early. Good refereeing, just gave himself a bit of thinking time. And then the red. Did you think it was a red?
I did. I don't think, I agree with Kieran McKenna. I don't think he goes to hurt him. I think he just gets it badly wrong. And I think it is a red card because you can't make a tackle like that on somebody's Achilles with your studs. But what I did like, I think Chris Kavanagh just replayed it in his mind. He didn't close his options. He gave himself thinking time, brought a red card out, which I think is correct.
OK. Not malicious then, you think? Because, Sue, I'm struggling to see where he thought he could win that ball. Because the ball had long gone, and yet he was still lunging in for that challenge. So.
Yeah, it's 100% a red card. Like you say, the ball had gone, he lunges in. I think when you go down the back of someone's Achilles like that, it's always going to be a red card. Obviously, Kieran McKenna knows him and knows his character, so he'll know that, he's not meaning to be malicious there. But when the ball has gone, and you can understand, sometimes you might do a slide tackle and you completely mistime it and you take someone out. I just don't like these challenges because I think you can seriously hurt someone. So, yeah, red card.
So I think he's trying to go through the player's legs to try and pinch the ball, gets it wrong. I don't think it's malicious at all from the player. I'm still in the camp of the orange card. I think it's borderline, and I understand what everyone's saying, but I also feel like he almost slides into it and gets the timing of it wrong. I think all he's trying to do is let Bukayo Saka know he's there. In the case of, if you are going to turn at any point in the rest of the game, this is how close I'm going to be to you, but he gets it wrong.
As it turned out, if you're going to turn at any point in the game, I actually won't be here.
I won't be there anymore.
No, because I'm off.
Yeah.
An impressive week with a dominant win. Stephen, you were there for this game. Will his biggest concern, Mikel Arteta, be Bukayo Saka after that awful foul on him? We will look at that in Ref Watch. I don't think there's much debate over that one, but we will look at it again in that.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I was really surprised he started the game. I just thought after the short spell he's had back in the game and the intensity of which he's had to play, I thought it was a perfect opportunity for Mikel Arteta just to take him out of it and just let him recuperate a little bit, because a lot of the time when you come back from injury, you run off adrenaline and you're able to get through games and you can pick up other little niggling injuries. But Mikel Arteta basically said before the game, we won't allow Liverpool to win the title this weekend. So he went as strong as he could. I was surprised with how strong he went against Ipswich, because I thought, without being disrespectful to Ipswich, I think he could have beat them with a second-rate team. But, yeah, Saka will be a concern, but I think he'll be absolutely fine, because if he was that bothered about him, he'd have left him off at half-time. He'd have took him off at half-time and not brought him out for the second half. So, yeah, he's... He was back running, no problem in the second half. It doesn't seem to be a major issue for him, but he played extremely well yesterday, Saka.
Although those ones are painful, aren't they? We've seen Arsenal take on and knock out the best team on paper in Europe in Real Madrid. Why did they fall short in the league, Sue? How can they do that at the Bernabeu and play the way they have sometimes in the Premier League?
I think injuries have certainly, had an impact on some of the performances this season. I think they missed Ødegaard for a period of time. Maybe he's not had his best season, but we still know the qualities that he's got. Obviously, then Saka, the number 9 position, injuries to them as well, and then defensively. So I think that's not helped at key parts of the game, key parts of the season. But I think, looking at them in the Champions League, both games, I thought they were brilliant, because I think they showed two different sides to the game. Obviously showed their, the attacking quality to be able to go and do that to Real Madrid, but then to also show how we know they can be defensively very sound and difficult to beat. So you had that individual quality, but then you also had that collective quality, both on and off the ball. So, yeah, I think some people criticised Mikel Arteta for rotating, especially against Everton. I remember where, he rotated his side, they dropped points, Liverpool then dropped points, and they said, that was an opportunity for Arsenal to put pressure. But I think sometimes he just looked at the Real Madrid game and thought, right, we need to make sure that we've got our best players fit and available for that. So you can understand it's a balancing act. It's the same with Saka, isn't it? You want him to play minutes because he's just come back from his injury, but then you want to protect him and make sure that he's okay.
I think, Nate, I'm going to be a little bit careful how I say this, but I think we've got to be careful with the Real Madrid result, because it's a Real Madrid team that have lost more Champions League games in a season than they've ever lost before. So they've lost 4 games leading into the Arsenal game in the Champions League. It was the worst Champions League campaign. Then they get beat twice by Arsenal. But then they've also been beaten 4 times in La Liga. They've been thumped 5-2 in the Supercopa Cup by Barcelona. They've also been hammered 4-0 by Barcelona in La Liga as well. This isn't a great Real Madrid team. It's one that struggled this year, and whilst everyone's getting carried away with the Real Madrid game, I understand it because it is Real Madrid. But we've got to judge them in the next game against the Paris Saint-Germain.
PSG, who also
100%.
struggled though in the
early
table,
stages.
whatever we call that now, groups. I don't know what you call that, table stage.
Yeah.
They also struggled there, didn't they?
Yeah, they did, but then they've come together now and they look like a real good team, an organised team, a team that on paper now we're all looking at going, oh, wow.
Yeah.
And I know Villa played extremely well against them in the second leg of that game, but I still look at Paris Saint-Germain as they're the best I've seen this season.
Yeah.
Like when I've gone to a game and watched them, I was blown away with how good they were.
Yeah.
In the 2 legs against Liverpool, I was just like, my word, they're a special team. And also in the first leg against Aston Villa, I thought they were outstanding. That will be the acid test for Arsenal. Now, if they come through that, absolutely, hands down, they deserve to go far in the competition, because that is the team I feel like you need to beat to win this competition.
So if PSG were to beat Arsenal or Inter Barca, take your pick, either of those were to beat them in the Allianz in the final, would that be considered still a successful season for Arsenal to reach the semi-finals of the Champions League and finish second in the Premier League?
It's a good season, but at the end of the day, you get judged on trophies, and that is the harsh reality of football at the moment. I think it's an incredible season, if I'm being completely honest. However, if you fall short, it will just be they've fallen short again. And that has happened now for the last, 2 years. Will it happen again? We'll have to wait and see. But they're definitely a team who's capable of winning it, definitely. But I just think there's teams in there that might be too tough for them. It's a big ask to win the Champions League.
Those targets, because we saw it coming. And that is... everybody showing their capabilities, ending the season in the best way possible, because next season the league start again and the championship will start again, and Leicester City will continue.
I was there in empty Anfield when Jordan Henderson lifted the trophy. You must have thought about it. How much different will it be to do it in front of 60,000